Hi, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in to our series on Ask the Expert. We're thrilled to have you here, and you're more than welcome to share this episode. And I'm here today with our expert, Andi Black of Finance of America. And he is here representing a few areas, New Jersey, of course, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Connecticut, etc. But without further ado, let me welcome Andi, and he's going to speak to us today about jumbo loans and financing in these current times. Thank you, Andi.
Thanks for having me, Mary Lou and Andy. Good morning. So it's been a wild ride in the mortgage world, and there have been so many changes on a daily basis almost for the last month, starting March 18th. The jumbo world is a little bit different than the 30-year conforming in FHA because those loans are purchased on the secondary market by the agencies, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae. So they have a flow, they have ability to buy mortgages and trade mortgage-backed securities. The jumbo world is different. Although they might follow Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's guidelines, they don't have outlets necessarily on a regular basis to buy and sell loans. So the problem we've gotten into in this marketplace is that the liquidity dried up on Wall Street. So at one point in time, a few weeks ago, we had jumbo lenders, and a jumbo loan is any loan over $510,400 on a single family home. So if the loan amount is greater than that, you fall into a jumbo category. So that was difficult because investors were walking away. They said, we're not going to make loans. We can't make loans. We don't have the liquidity. We were having trouble selling the loans. At one point, you would sell a loan and maybe, somebody would buy it from you for a point for the servicing. Now, you had to pay them to take the loan. So things have settled down a little bit. And about a week ago, we got a number of our jumbo lenders back on board. But everything comes with a cost, and there've been a ton of changes and what we call in the industry overlays. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and FHA have their basic guidelines. And then investors, in order to, like ourselves, banks, we want to make sure we have a saleable loan. So we're going to have what's called an overlay. So we may add some conditions. We may add, some rules and regulations. And we do this in conjunction with the investors who are buying our paper. So what you've seen, and let's talk about the second home area because you guys are at the Jersey Shore, which is a big second home area, although you do a lot of primary further back off the island. But we can still lend. Somebody wants to buy a second home and put 20% down on a jumbo. We can lend 80% up to $750,000. If they're looking to borrow more, the loan to value is going to drop down a little bit. Might be 65, might be 75. The investors are looking for more documentation in some cases. Maybe they want 3 years tax returns instead of 2 years like before. So they want to make sure that the borrower is solid, especially in this environment. We want to make sure they're still working, that there's no chance of a furlough. We're still looking for only one appraisal in most cases. So we're lending, where things are on a day-by-day basis, things are changing and things are moving along. I can tell you that, loans are moving in like a 30-day process for the most part. So it's good. There's traction and there's money out there and we're lending and the rates are great. So, hopefully that gives you a little bit of background on where we've been in the last 30 days. Went from, at one point having 2 jumbo investors and now we're back to 7 or 8 that are, buying paper.
That's very exciting news for sure.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, it gives people options. The other thing that we're also seeing a lot more of is the piggybacks are back. And if you don't know what that is, it's where we have a first and a second mortgage to get somebody into a house, whether it's a primary residence or a second home. We can come up with a first and then a second, and the second's usually a HELOC. And if somebody's got great credit and a great loan to value, that HELOC pricing is very strong.
And the rates are still so attractive. That makes it quite comfortable as well. Where are we with the rates? What range are we in today?
30-year money on a conforming loan, again, something that's 5, 10, 4 or less, 3 1/4, 3 1/8. 15-year money's in the high 2s. If somebody wants to borrow for 15 years, 2 3/4.
Attractive.
So the rates are definitely great. I think that there's a lot of uncertainty still out there with the consumer, not knowing what's happening with their jobs and their situations. But if somebody's got, the bells and whistles, they can borrow and save some significant dollars on a monthly basis, or get into that, new house, whatever their needs happen to be.
We're definitely seeing the market moving forward. The transactions that we've had in place are coming to fruition. Few hurdles, but we're working through them. And we anticipate once the market opens and businesses back, that because of the time of the year, that we are going to be exceptionally busy. And we're going to have buyers on the island and off the island that are looking, they're going to be looking for shore homes to seek some comfort and enjoyment with their families.
Yeah, there's certainly a pent-up demand that people want to get out. They're getting, crazy outside and not being able to move around. I think you're right. I just hope that there's, everybody's going to be able to hang on to their job situations and, be able to go out and move forward on those houses. And I think it'll be terrific.
Mm-hmm. And it's absolutely the perfect time of year, to try to remain optimistic and, want to buy a shore house or want to move up and take advantage of these great rates. And, knowing, through you, that if you're looking at a little bit of a higher price point, that you can still make that happen. And
listen, the other good thing is we're happy to look at everybody's situation today if they're ready to get pre-approved and get their paperwork together so that they're off and running when that market opens up again. And if something is odd or they've got a strange income situation, or, find out now rather than wait until, they're ready to do something. So they can maybe fix whatever the situation might be in their financial situation.
And the turnaround time is 30 days pretty much for a commitment?
We've actually closed deals in 30 days. So the commitment, 30 days is doable. And we've actually closed loans in 30 days. We've moved transactions up because we've had people who were in jobs that could have been, quote unquote, in a furlough position. So we closed one Friday where the wife had already had her hours cut and the husband worked for SEPTA. And we were just afraid that if we waited till the end of the month, something was going to give. So we moved everything up by 2 weeks, basically, and got them closed. So we've been doing that with folks on a regular basis, because every day it's a new situation. Somebody had no idea they're not going to have a job tomorrow.
Right.
But we're hoping in most cases we can still figure it out.
And you're able to schedule and expedite the appraisers getting into the properties and just wrapping them up so we can keep things active.
Yeah, appraisals have not been an issue. I think Jersey's rules are a little different than PA's rules right now. You guys are showing houses. Appraisers and inspectors, I guess, are getting into houses, from what I understand. In Pennsylvania, appraisers aren't allowed in the houses right now, and inspectors can't get in. I've got one transaction where the guy has never seen the house. It's $1.2 million. Loans approved, appraisals done. It was a drive-by, and we're moving right along. So he's happy. Hopefully he's going to like the house when he sees it.
That's yeah, that's fabulous. Yeah, it's pretty interesting times we're involved with. And again, jumbo loans start at
above 510,400.
Okay. Excellent. So Andi, let's talk about the advantages of refinancing at this time.
Sure. So again, back to the jumbo market. Jumbo rates at one point before all this insanity were very close to conforming loan rates. With the change in liquidity and the change in the jumbo structure, those have gotten more expensive. So if somebody's looking to refinance and they've got a loan balance that's a jumbo, they might be a candidate to either have cash and pay down their loan to the conforming loan limit and save a lot of money, or you might be able to do a first and a second mortgage and break the loan up into two parts, where the first mortgage is a conforming loan and the second is for the balance and maybe the closing costs depending on their equity position. So I've got a transaction like that right now where we're doing for a client, and their net savings is like $500 a month, which is a no-brainer. He's getting a terrific rate on the HELOC. It's prime minus a quarter. So prime is 3.25 right now. It's a 3% HELOC, interest only. He can prepay whenever he wants. And so we've done a lot of that stuff. But rates in general, if you've got a rate that's over 4, it's worth taking a look at. If you're looking to change the term of your loan and go from a 30 to a 20, those rates are also in the low 3s, and sometimes that makes more sense, so you don't start over from the beginning on 30 years and give up some of the equity. So yeah, refinancing is a great option for people if they're looking to take equity from their house to kind of protect against whatever else might be coming and get some cash. That's another good possibility if they have equity. So yeah, refinancing has been prolific in the last 6 to 8 weeks.
So everyone who's out there should be aware that Andi is available to procure a jumbo loan, and they are closing within 30 days or less. So if you're interested in obtaining a jumbo loan, it is happening, and Finance of America is available to accommodate you. So again, Andi Black, thank you very much for being our expert today, and we were delighted to see you and also see that you're doing well. Again, Andi Black, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.